Welcome to More Than Mindset, the only podcast that bridges the gap between spirituality and success. Go beyond the mind with clarity and confidence coach Kim Guillory and learn how to integrate your passion to serve with your skills and experience to create a business you love. Let's get started.
Hello, and welcome back to the show. This week, I am talking all about growing your business. So for those of you who may not have a business, you can still use this information to grow your life because like it or not, we're all in business. We're all in sales. You're always selling yourself. Maybe it's to get your kids to do what you want or your partner. No matter how you look at it, life is a business. It's the same exact thing. To be in business, you're in service. And we're always in service to each other. We're always looking to belong and to be cohesive and to find our place. So I'm going to talk about the three main things that you need to do or need to have in place in order to grow your business. The number one, first and foremost, is you have to challenge your money mindset. If you are not living in abundance right now, and you believe that the resources are limited, then the first thing for you to investigate is your mindset. Really looking back at who affects the way you think about money. How were you brought up? What was the environment you were brought up in? What was your childhood experience around money? Was there not enough of it? Did you see others had things that you wanted? Did you not know how to attain it? Were you always fighting and scratching to stay above? Like, in other words, when you finally had enough money, then something broke or something happened and then you lost the money you had. This is how you investigate the money mindset that you have right now. What sort of things did your parents or your family, your friends, your environment, what sort of messages did you hear and that you believed about the way that money works? For many of us, it's that it's a limited resource, that there's not enough of it. If I have it, then someone has to do without, right? That's a big belief. For some, it's the misinterpretation of money is the root of all evil, right? It's things like that that have been turned and twisted. Because actually, what more money will do is it will make you more of what you already are. So if you are generous and you are kind and you are loving and empathetic and compassionate, you're just going to be more of that with the money. So there's so many limited beliefs or mental constructs around the way that we think about money. And if we don't question them, we move through life limited. And do we truly believe that what you heard, what you were taught, or what you experienced is truth? And I want you to question that. If you want to keep that, you can. But are you willing to explore the possibility that someone could have been wrong, that you could have taken that information the wrong way, or that you were sold on limitations when they really are none? These are things for you to question. Did your family say money doesn't grow on trees, or it's wrong or sinful, or you should be ashamed for wanting all that when there are people who are starving in other parts of the world? Like, these are some of the stories that we have heard from other people that, my God, how much do you need? Why are you so greedy? Why can't you just settle? Why do you want all that? Like, these are some of the generational messagings that were passed on parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, because there was a time of suffering. And a lot of this has been passed down from generation to generation. And because those before you experienced those limitations, they actually expressed their belief in that, and you took it on before you knew better. And those subconscious beliefs are planted really, really deep. So that's the very first thing you need to do, is question your money mindset and be willing to reframe it, to actually get your mind in alignment with what you do want. Because when we understand prosperity and abundance, it will change your entire life, the way you look at your relationships, the way you look at your finances, the way you look at your business, and more than anything else, the environment that you hang out in. there's a such thing as prosperity by proximity. And what that means is the people that you hang around with, the limitations that they have and hold, or what you will most likely adopt. And so when you hang around with people who don't have or want or believe in the limitations, you will become that. Right? We are influenced by our environment. And so get yourself into a room with people who are doing more than you are doing, who are earning more than you are earning, who have more than you have. If you want your mind to see that that is a possibility and a potential for you. Prosperity by proximity. Get around people who have what you want. Because those people are not going to look down on you and tell you you can't have it or you should be ashamed of it. The problem is it's also like poverty by proximity, because the ones that you hang around with who are limited actually don't want you to grow above them. And so they will tell you things to keep you there. You've ever had that friend when you were dieting, they always want to feed you things like, let's go eat Mexican, all the chips and salsa and margaritas and eat all of these desserts. And they don't have a weight problem, but they don't want you to be thinner than them, right? That sort of thing. Gals, I know you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so it's poverty by proximity and prosperity by proximity. You choose. Okay. The second thing that you need to know about, investigate, explore when you're looking to grow your business is your messaging. Are you clear about who you're talking to? Are you clear about the problem that you solve? Are you saying it in a way that they can receive and understand it? Or are you talking like way up here, high-tech conversation, and they don't know what you're talking about? If you are using coaching lingo or maybe like really high-tech scientific stuff, big words, then they maybe don't even know what you're talking about. So it's not necessarily that they don't want to work with you or they don't need your help. They may not be able to understand your message. Because we often speak the language of where we are, we forget where we were. And most of your clients are coming in with the problem that you've already solved. And so you have to be able to reverse engineer where you were at that time and then be able to relate to them. In other words, if they're dealing with chronic pain issues and you're saying you can heal anything, it's all in your mind, they can't even see that. They can't bridge the two. So you have to be able to relate that you understand where they are right now. Maybe you have gotten somewhere else and you have a new belief, but remembering, having some empathy and compassion and understanding, that could be the same thing with me talking about money, right? I remember what it was like to be in the trailer park. I remember what it was like to be homeless. I remember what it was like to have only $5 in my pocket. I remember not having a phone, not having gas, or like being able to provide for myself. Like I can relate. I have empathy and compassion. I remember investing beyond what I could pay in order to go and do something new and different. It was very scary. And I see my clients doing it now. But I understand that it is the thing that pushed me to the next level. It was that pressing against the cusp of breakthrough. And so we often, this is crazy, but we often have to invest to break free from scarcity, which is the craziest thing ever, right? It's so counterintuitive. So in order to get out of poverty mindset, in order to get out of the limiting beliefs around money, you have to pay money, which is crazy because you believe you don't have enough money, right? So it's so hard. But that's truly where the trust and confidence in yourself comes from, is when you're willing to invest in yourself and just know I'm always going to get a return on my investments. And then your brain will go to work and do that for you. It's fascinating. Try it. All right. So being really clear around your messaging, having empathy and compassion and understanding about where your client is right now so that you can have relatable stories, so that you can talk to them from where they are and still bridge them to where they could be, because that's where you are right now. So be very clear about who you're talking to. What problem do you solve? Like this used to be a tanning salon. If I'm going to sell tans, then I need to have tans on my sign, right? This is the place where you come in and you can get a spray tan, you can get in the tanning bed, but super clear on your messaging. You can come in, get your nails done, get tanning done, ladies fitness. So notice especially when you're on social media, if you're using a lot of coaching lingo, using really big words that they don't really understand, that don't have anything to do with where they are right now. Okay. The third thing that you need to grow your business is you need to have marketing strategy and a marketing plan. Believe it or not, when you became an entrepreneur, you became a marketer. You are marketing your greatest asset, which is yourself. So hard for so many of us because we didn't sign up for this. I just want to help people. I just want them to come in and let me help them deal with their problems and have a better life. I don't want to get on social media. I hate this Facebook. I don't understand Instagram. I don't want to go live on YouTube. I don't like any of that stuff. It's very uncomfortable. And my family and friends are going to judge everything that I say and do. I'm going to fail and everyone's going to laugh at me, right? These are the things that your mind tells you. But here's the God's honest truth. If you're in business, you're in marketing. You have to have the ability to sell yourself. So your message needs to be clear, but you also need to know where you are going to put that message at. So you don't really want to be like marketing tanning in an area that is like super conscious about doing that and they don't want to do it, right? And so whenever you're trying to market coaching, and that community has never heard about coaching, then you're going to have to begin with educating them on the importance and the benefits of having a coach. And you'll have to use personal stories to relate, like where were you before? And how did coaching help you get to where you are right now? Right. So that's marketing to that particular community. If they've never heard about coaching before, they don't really understand what you're paying for. They are not sure what's the difference between a counselor and a spiritual director and a coach and a mentor, then your marketing will be to expose, to help them understand exactly what it is that you're selling. So you're going to have to educate them in advance about the benefits, about the importance, the features, so that they can therefore see the value. And then you can market the actual service. Does that make sense? All right. So I'm just going to repeat these real quick. The first thing that you need to do to grow your business is you really need to check in with your money mindset. And you need to, if you have a limiting belief around money, you need to reframe those beliefs. So you'll take the old belief of there's not enough, money is limited. If I have money, no one else will, right? Those stories, whichever one belongs to you, you want to take it and you want to turn it around. And it could be as simple as I'm learning new things about money. I'm beginning to see that money is not limited. I'm investigating and understanding now that money is available to everyone. Right? Do you see what I'm saying? I turned it around and I'm using it in present time. And then you're going to do that several times. It's not a one-time event. So every time you catch the thought about the limitation of money, you will reframe it. And then you will bring it back into submission of what you want. You'll bring it back into alignment so that you can, like, the way that the mind works is exactly what you say and think is what it does. It's what it believes. It can be tricked. So if you're telling a new story, you're actually getting new results and you'll feel different. And so then you're going to take different actions. And that's why you get those new results. So recognize the old money mindset, reframe it to work for you. Second was, are you clear with your messaging? Do you know what problem you solve and who you solve it for? Are you clear about it in a way that they can understand it? Are you talking coaching lingo or are you talking human language? It would be like a fourth grader. If you're not sure about your messaging, then talk to maybe your fourth grade niece or nephew or one of your neighbors that's like younger than eighth grade and see if they understand what you're talking about. See if they, because that is how most civilians understand. Like we do all of this training and education and personal growth, and then we forget who we used to be and how we used to talk. So you got to bring yourself back to that. Okay. The third thing was you have just become a marketer. So get over it, get used to it, and find what works for you. Do you like doing audio? Maybe doing a podcast? Do you like to be on video? Like, where are you most comfortable? Just pick one and just start there. First, you want to know, what is the understanding of your ideal client? Do they know that this is a problem? Whatever your service is, do they know that this is a problem? And if not, how can you start educating them to understand the benefits of the product that you offer? So I just want to say that we often go like way above in order to prove that we know what we're talking about. And it's mostly because new entrepreneurs deal with so much imposter syndrome that they try to prove how smart they are. They try to prove how educated they are. And they talk about selling the modality or the tool that they use instead of talking about the problem and the solution. So notice in your marketing, if you're talking about, maybe you're a Reiki master or maybe you're a mindset coach, if you're trying to sell that, like about changing their mindset, you're going to lose them because they have no idea that mindset is their problem. They have no idea what Reiki is or Reiki can do. But you can speak about when they wake up in the morning or they go to bed at night, what are they thinking about? What are they disappointed in? What are they beating themselves up about? And you can use those words in your marketing to describe. So you woke up this morning and thought, today is the day. This is the day that I finally battle the beast. And then you go to bed at night and you're like, I failed one more time. And you're just laying out exactly what they're thinking. That is marketing and messaging. So it's a way to relate to the person and then also let them know how it could be. And you want to bridge the gap between the two, between the problem and the solution. And it's the same thing with you. You want to be relatable about, I know where you are. I used to be there. Share a story and then tell them where you are now, but in a way that they can receive it. Don't go all the way to, so you were born in a trailer park and you can make millions of dollars, because they don't have any context in order to put that content together. You have to paint the picture for them. That's what I have for you this week, is really looking at these three things: money, messaging, and marketing. Once you have these three things done, then you can go back and listen to last week's podcast, which is about bringing your relationships on board. That is something that you can actually get pretty far, even though your relationships don't agree with you. It might not be easy, but you can get there. I'm sure of that because I know many people who have done it. But you want to get these three things aligned first, so that you can make sure you're in the position to be able to receive money subconsciously. So this all takes awareness. It's not what you're logically thinking. It's what you're illogically believing. Like, what is your, some people would say your heart of hearts. And that could be like, there's a lot of poor people in the world and we shouldn't be making all this money. It's wrong and greedy. That would be the subconscious. There is no way that consciousness would think that way. And then the messaging, talk to a fourth grader, 4th to 8th grade, find someone to practice on. And then the marketing is the willingness to put yourself out in the world, even though you feel like you're going to fail, even though you're going to sound crazy at first, and you might have some shame and you might say some things that come out wrong, and just be like, give yourself some grace. Don't judge yourself so harshly. Be willing to do it. If you go back and look at my videos from a few years ago, and a lot to be ashamed about. And now I just realize the more relatable I am, the more human I am, the more I share my experience, and the more vulnerable and transparent that I am, the more people trust me, because I can relate to them and they can understand what I'm talking about. So have a great week. If you know anyone who is in business or is struggling in business or is interested in this, please share the podcast with them, share the YouTube channel with them, let them know where they can go back and listen to other episodes, invite them to the More Than Mindset Facebook group. I do have some challenges coming up. So if you're interested in some free masterclasses, make sure you come to the More Than Mindset Facebook group and you'll see all of the details there. And if you are ready to make money in your business now, to serve more clients, to create more impact, I invite you to come to eSchool, because this is where we do the work. This is where we execute the plan. It's all about the action line and strategy, and we help you with your marketing plans, everything. It's an all-inclusive. You have time with me and with my team and with a group of other entrepreneurs who are doing exactly what you're doing. And I want to invite you to come there, as I do every week. The link is below. And until next week.
Thanks for listening to this episode of More Than Mindset.